Welcome to Honoring Greatness. I'm Christopher. This channel is a place to remember exceptional people whose lives, achievements, and influence continue to resonate far beyond their time. Their artistry, vision, and dedication touched hearts across the world. Join us as we reflect on their legacy through stories from film, music, culture, and unforgettable moments that still inspire today. Singer and songwriter Chip Taylor passed away at the age of 86, leaving behind a quiet but lasting legacy that helped shape popular music over many decades. While his name may not always be widely recognized, his work became an important part of music history through songs that reached global audiences. He is best known as the writer of Wild Thing, a powerful and energetic track that became a major hit for the Troggs and remains instantly recognizable. He also wrote Angel of the Morning, which gained renewed fame through Juice Newton's widely loved version, introducing his songwriting to new generations of listeners. Beyond these well-known hits, Chip Taylor also created a strong catalog of his own songs, including Early Sunday Morning and Big River. These works reflected a more personal and reflective side of his songwriting, highlighting his emotional depth and storytelling ability. Born James Wesley Voigt, he was also the younger brother of actor Jon Voight. However, he built his own identity in music through his distinctive writing style and enduring influence. His contributions continue to live on through songs that have been covered, reinterpreted, and cherished across generations, ensuring his impact remains present in the fabric of modern music. Justice often involves difficult moral questions where there is no clear right or wrong answer. One of the most well-known examples is the trolley problem, a thought experiment used in philosophy to explore ethical decision-making in life and death situations. In the first scenario, a trolley is heading toward 5 workers on a track, and there is no way to stop it. However, you can divert it onto another track where only one person stands. This creates a moral conflict between actively causing one death or allowing 5 deaths to occur. Some people choose to switch the track to minimize loss of life, while others believe it is wrong to take any direct action that harms another person. A variation of this idea is the bridge dilemma. In this case, the only way to stop the trolley is by pushing a large person off a bridge onto the tracks, which would save 5 others. Even though the outcome is similar, most people refuse to act, raising questions about why direct harm feels morally different from indirect harm. Similar ethical tensions appear in medical decision-making, where doctors may face situations involving limited resources and multiple patients. These examples highlight the conflict between saving the greatest number of lives and respecting individual rights. Historical survival cases, such as the incident involving Queen versus Dudley and Stephen's case, further complicate these debates by showing how desperation can challenge moral boundaries. Philosophers such as Jeremy Bentham, who supported utilitarianism, argued that actions should be judged by their outcomes and overall happiness. In contrast, Immanuel Kant believed that certain actions are always morally wrong, regardless of consequences. Together, these scenarios show that justice is complex, shaped by both consequences and principles, and often forces people to confront uncomfortable ethical choices. Gerry Conway was a highly influential comic book writer whose work helped reshape superhero storytelling by adding emotional depth, real consequences, and moral complexity. Born on September 10, 1952, in New York City, he grew up in Brooklyn, where his interest in comics developed from simple reading into serious study. He paid close attention to how stories were structured and how characters were built, which later became the foundation of his writing style. He entered the professional comics industry at a remarkably young age and quickly became one of the standout writers at Marvel Comics. His early work showed a fresh perspective that challenged traditional superhero storytelling. One of his most defining contributions was the storyline involving the death of Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man, a moment that changed comic books forever by introducing the idea that even major characters were not safe from permanent consequences. This shift made superhero stories more emotionally grounded and impactful. He also played a key role in creating the Punisher, a character who represented a darker, more complex form of justice and became one of the most iconic anti-heroes in pop culture. Beyond comics, he later worked in television, continuing to focus on character-driven storytelling. He passed away on April 27, 2026, at the age of 73. His legacy lives on through the characters he helped shape and the storytelling approach that continues to influence comics, films, and television today. 25 years ago this week, the music world reflected on the loss of Joey Ramone, who passed away at the age of 49, leaving behind a voice that helped redefine the direction of modern rock. As the lead singer of the Ramones, he became part of a movement that stripped music down to its most direct form, fast, loud, and unpolished in a way that felt immediate and real. From small, crowded clubs in New York, that sound grew into something much larger, influencing the rise of punk music and inspiring generations of bands that followed. His delivery was never about technical perfection, but about emotion, urgency, and honesty, which is why it connected so strongly with listeners who felt outside of mainstream culture. Even after his passing, his influence continued to spread through new artists who adopted that same raw energy and straightforward approach to music. In 2002, the Ramones were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a recognition that formally acknowledged their lasting impact on music history. Today, Joey Ramone's presence is still felt in fast guitar rhythms, stripped-down production, and the rebellious spirit that continues to shape alternative music. His legacy remains tied to the idea that simple, honest expression can outlast trends and continue speaking to people across generations. Jennifer Aniston's life is often seen through the lens of fame, but a closer and more grounded view reveals something more enduring: emotional resilience, steady discipline, and a long process of self-definition under constant visibility. Her journey from a childhood shaped by shifting stability to becoming one of the most recognized figures in global entertainment is not just a story of success, but of learning how to remain whole while being constantly observed. What makes her path compelling is not only her career achievements, but the way she has adapted to pressure without losing her sense of identity. Over time, she has moved through personal and professional phases that required patience, emotional awareness, and reinvention. Rather than being defined by public narratives, her story reflects a quieter truth about endurance and growth in an environment that rarely allows privacy or pause. Early family environment. Jennifer Aniston was born into a family already connected to the entertainment world, but that background did not translate into emotional stability. Her early years were shaped by movement between households, shifting routines, and the experience of her parents' separation. Growing up in environments like Los Angeles and New York exposed her to both opportunity and emotional complexity at a young age. While she was surrounded by creative energy, consistency was not always present, which made adaptability an early life skill rather than a choice. These conditions encouraged her to become observant, noticing how people express emotion and navigate relationships. That habit of observation later became an important foundation in her acting work. Instead of relying on external stability, she gradually learned to build internal awareness. The absence of predictability did not define her negatively, but it did teach her how to manage change, read situations carefully, and develop emotional independence that would support her later life in a highly visible profession. Childhood and emotional formation. During her childhood, Jennifer Aniston developed a personality shaped by both creativity and emotional sensitivity. While artistic influences were present around her, her home life did not always provide consistent reassurance, which led her to develop inner coping strategies. Humor became one of her earliest tools for navigating discomfort, allowing her to shift emotional tension into something lighter and more manageable. She also developed a habit of watching people closely, studying behavior and communication patterns in a natural, almost instinctive way. This attention to detail later became essential in her acting style, helping her portray emotions with subtlety and realism. Instead of becoming withdrawn, she used imagination and observation as a way to understand the world around her. These early experiences did not create fragility, but rather emotional awareness. Over time, she learned to separate her inner insecurities from outward expression, a skill that helped her navigate both personal challenges and the demands of a public career. Education and artistic discovery. Jennifer Aniston's education played an important role in shaping her artistic direction. Attending schools with a focus on creative expression introduced her to structured performance at a formative age. Acting was not initially viewed as a career goal, but rather as a form of communication and emotional release. Within this environment, she learned that performance required both discipline and vulnerability, two qualities that often exist in tension. Teachers encouraged authenticity rather than perfection, helping her understand that acting was about truth rather than imitation. This period allowed her to experiment with emotional expression in a safe and structured setting, gradually building confidence in her abilities. She began to see storytelling as a way to connect with others on an emotional level, not just as entertainment. This realization marked an important shift in her development, turning artistic curiosity into a more defined sense of purpose that would later guide her professional choices. Early struggles in acting. Before achieving recognition, Jennifer Aniston's early career was defined by uncertainty, persistence, and frequent rejection. Like many aspiring actors, she balanced auditions with part-time work, navigating financial instability while trying to build experience. Roles were often small or short-lived, offering little security or visibility. Despite these challenges, she continued to refine her craft, treating each opportunity as a learning experience rather than a final outcome. Rejection became a regular part of her journey, but instead of discouraging her, it strengthened her resilience and discipline. This period required emotional endurance, as progress was slow and unpredictable. However, it also helped her develop patience and a strong work ethic. Each audition, regardless of outcome, contributed to her growth as an actress. Over time, she learned to remain committed even when results were uncertain, building a foundation of persistence that would later support her transition into larger and more stable opportunities. Breakthrough role in television. Jennifer Aniston's breakthrough came when she was cast in a television role that would later become culturally significant. The character she portrayed resonated strongly with audiences, combining humor, emotional relatability, and charm in a way that felt natural rather than constructed. This role quickly elevated her from relative anonymity to global recognition. The success of the show created opportunities, but also introduced intense visibility, where her character and personal identity often became intertwined in public perception. While the role brought professional success, it also created the challenge of being strongly associated with a single character for many years. This duality defined much of her early fame as she balanced gratitude for the opportunity with the pressure of constant comparison. The experience shaped her understanding of both the rewards and limitations of mainstream success, influencing how she approached future roles and career decisions. Life under public attention. With fame came a level of public attention that extended far beyond her professional work. Jennifer Aniston's life became a subject of constant interest, with her appearances, relationships, and personal choices frequently discussed in media spaces. This level of visibility created pressure that required emotional discipline to manage. Privacy became limited, and even ordinary moments were sometimes interpreted through a public lens. Despite this, she maintained a composed and steady presence, choosing not to engage with every narrative surrounding her life. Over time, she developed a strong sense of boundaries, learning to separate her personal identity from external perception. This separation became essential for maintaining emotional balance in an environment that often blurs private and public life. By focusing on what she could control, she preserved a sense of stability and avoided being entirely shaped by outside expectations or commentary. Career expansion and film work. Following her television success, Jennifer Aniston expanded her career into film, where she explored a wider range of emotional and character-driven roles. This transition allowed her to step outside the identity that had defined her early fame and demonstrate versatility as an actress. She chose projects that reflected emotional depth, realism, and complexity rather than relying on familiar comedic patterns alone. This period showed her intention to grow artistically and avoid being confined to a single type of role. Her performances were increasingly recognized for their nuance and sincerity, reinforcing her credibility in the film industry. Rather than following predictable career paths, she made selective choices that aligned with her evolving interests as a performer. This phase marked a shift from being defined by one iconic role to building a broader and more varied artistic identity. Navigating relationships in the public eye. Jennifer Aniston's personal relationships often attracted public attention, which added complexity to her emotional life. Living under constant observation meant that private experiences were frequently interpreted or discussed externally, sometimes in ways that did not reflect reality. Despite this, she consistently maintained a respectful and grounded approach to relationships, prioritizing privacy and emotional clarity. Over time, she developed a stronger understanding of personal boundaries and the importance of separating private life from public interpretation. These experiences influenced how she approached trust, connection, and emotional vulnerability. Rather than allowing public narratives to define her, she focused on internal growth and personal stability. This allowed her to move through different life stages with greater awareness and emotional maturity, shaping a more private and intentional approach to relationships over time. Personal challenges and growth. Like many individuals, Jennifer Aniston experienced personal challenges that contributed to her emotional development. These experiences were not defined by public perception, but by private reflection and gradual understanding. Over time, she learned to process difficult moments with patience rather than avoidance. Emotional growth became a continuous process of self-awareness, acceptance, and adjustment. Instead of allowing challenges to define her identity, she used them as opportunities to build resilience. This approach helped her maintain stability even during uncertain or transitional periods in her life. Her personal evolution reflects a steady development of emotional intelligence, shaped by lived experience rather than external expectation. Through this process, she learned to navigate change without losing her sense of self. Return to television and production work. Jennifer Aniston's return to television marked a significant professional shift, as she took on roles that allowed her greater creative involvement. Moving into production expanded her influence beyond acting, giving her the ability to shape storytelling from behind the scenes. This transition reflected a more mature stage in her career, where creative control became as important as performance itself. She chose projects that explored complex themes such as workplace dynamics, identity, and emotional resilience. This phase demonstrated her evolution into a multifaceted creative professional. By participating in both performance and production, she strengthened her role within the industry and expanded her long-term artistic impact. This shift also highlighted her ability to adapt and grow within a changing entertainment landscape. Financial success and stability. Over the course of her career, Jennifer Aniston achieved significant financial stability through consistent work in television, film, and production. Her success reflects long-term dedication rather than sudden achievement. Financial independence allowed her greater freedom in selecting meaningful projects rather than working out of necessity. She also invested in real estate and business ventures that contributed to long-term security. Despite her wealth, her lifestyle has remained relatively grounded and intentional. Rather than emphasizing excess, she has focused on maintaining balance and sustainability. This approach reflects a thoughtful relationship with success, where financial achievement supports stability rather than defining identity. Her choices demonstrate careful planning and long-term perspective. Public image and legacy. Jennifer Aniston's public image has evolved significantly over time. While she was once primarily associated with a single iconic role, she is now recognized for her longevity, adaptability, and consistent professionalism. Her legacy extends beyond entertainment into broader cultural influence, representing stability in an industry known for constant change. Audiences continue to connect with her authenticity and grounded presence, which has remained steady throughout her career. Rather than being defined solely by early fame, she is now viewed as a lasting figure in popular culture whose career reflects endurance and evolution. Her legacy is shaped not only by success, but by consistency and resilience. Conclusion. Jennifer Aniston's life reflects a journey of endurance, adaptation, and steady self-definition. Her story is not only about fame, but about learning to remain grounded while living under constant visibility. Through personal challenges, professional evolution, and public attention, she has maintained a sense of identity shaped by experience rather than expectation. Her path demonstrates that success is not only measured by recognition, but by the ability to grow, adjust, and remain authentic over time. Today, her legacy stands as an example of sustained resilience and quiet strength, built through decades of continuous evolution.